All right, here we are, a brand new year with your host Matthias, along with the.
John.
Well, John, is it a new you, new year,
You're in the army. That's what I say.
new year, new army?
As always.
You're
As
crazy.
always.
You are crazy for doing that. I will not be participating in the new army, new year, just yet. Maybe later down in the line. But been a lot of things going on. A lot of new reveals over these last 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited to go through it. There's a bunch of other evergreen news out there as well, such as the model of the year, some old world news, and of course a classic returning as well. But so let's just jump right into this. So first things first, since it is a new month, it's time for a new coin and new model. So we got Beastman coming in to be the model of the month, the 40k Beastman,
Yes, the 40k Beastman.
not the AOS Beastman. They're coming in, and then we got two sets of coins here. We got Old World and Flesh Eater Quartz. So, should you want to go and collect them, now is your chance. Go spend that money, get your coins, because Old World is coming out this month. But before we get into that, let's talk about the year that it was 2023. Overall, looking at this recap here, pretty good year for not 40k, for GW. I would say you got the Warriors of Chaos starting off the year, the Arcs of Omen, then we got Angron and the Arbides being revealed and coming out. March, we got the characters: Farsight, Azrael, Snickrot, and the Archfiend, who I'm forgetting his name right now. Bashtor. There we go.
Oh, Vashtor.
In April, we got more AOS characters, which a little disappointing on that end. We didn't really need another what's the name of the group? The Bone Warriors. What are they called?
Bone Reapers?
Bone Reapers. There you go. We didn't need another Bone Reaper sorcerer, and we didn't need another Iva Voga vampire model, but those all came out. Of course, the badass model here to come out was Lionel Johnson, the Lion, in all his glory. May, we got the Warcry and Kill Team models coming out. June was the Leviathan. And it looks like a old one. Not old one, White Scar? Whatever the Lizardman character on the Raptor. Cold one. July, we got some more AOS and the Harbinger series. August, it looks like we got the Night Lancer coming in plastic for 30k and some rats. September, got the Tyranid release and the got really bad with these names. The Orc Art Boys. October, we got some more. We got some Legion, the Mark III, I think, right? That's the Ven Spiky Helm.
Hmm.
And then some more AOS models. November. We get the Empire coming to AOS. Cities of Sigmar. December, we got the Necrons and Admech codexes and characters as well. So overall, pretty action packed. A lot of stuff happened. A lot of army updates. A lot of cool new models. And as John said, we don't get drip feed by the other companies like Star Wars Legion or uh, War Machine, or I mean name any company. You don't really get anything weekly or monthly. So to see this all come out all in just 1 year, pretty good. I wish some things were a little bit faster, but we all know that GW games can never be truly balanced. So everything takes a lot more time. And I'd rather them take their time to make incredible models and get everything updated to the GW standard than just get a new book and a new character model kind of deal. So here's to hoping 2024 will be a good year, just as 2023. Hopefully better. I don't know if you
Yeah,
had
I
anything
think.
on the recap.
I mean, AOS 4.0 coming out, Old World in full steam, more heresy and more, what's it called, more epic. Yeah, the only thing that I'm unsure of is, I guess 40K is still getting a lot of stuff, but I mean the game is one of the games out of all time. I don't know, like I feel like the 40K. I don't really feel hype for 40K, and the people I talk to don't feel hype for 40K, which is interesting. It's just kind of there. So I don't know if what Games Workshop can do. I feel like 10th was very lukewarm in terms of reception.
It's
But
definitely had a rough launch compared to 8th and 9th edition. That is definitely for sure. So,
yeah,
especially in the competitive scene where you got everyone really angry that Eldar are always top dog, you know, doesn't help. But I've been enjoying 10th edition as of late, so I can't say that my experience isn't bad, but I definitely see where people are coming from when they have their criticisms of 10th edition. Because I honestly, I wasn't that big of a fan of the launch either, but you know, GW is trying something new,
hmm
and the life cycle, it's only like 2 years. Well, I mean, it's supposed to be 4 years, but GW's been cranking these out faster and faster every year, so who knows? Who knows how long 10th edition will be around for? But if the rumor engine, and not the GW rumor engine, the other one that I've been hearing is right, it's gonna be a good addition for Eldar in terms of model wise. I mean, rule wise, they're already dominating, so it's already good for them. But model wise, I hear it's gonna be really good for them too. So,
yeah, they'll be good. They need new
oh my
aspect ratings for
god,
sure.
they need new ones. Yes, they do. They need updates. But that is that. Uh, and then of course, because we didn't have a show last week, we didn't get to put our input into here. But the model of the year. Now, did you look at this article already?
I did, yes, and I am not surprised, like, at all.
Okay. I have not looked at this article because I kind of wanted to go through it. So I'm just going to throw my prediction out there. And I'm going to say it's Angron. That's going to be my guess. Angron took the win. I don't know if you're being silent because you don't want to tell me, or if I'm being
My
wrong.
prediction is also Angron. I have read this article, but coming into this article, my prediction was also Angron.
Well, let's take a look here. So here's all just the runners up. Inus, the Cryptborn, Death Leaper, which was a stunning model. Like that model. Bashtar, he's okay. I didn't really care too much. Dante is a whatever model, honestly. When I see him, I just see a Space Marine with a jump back, but you know, character model. We got Talia Vedrar, another badass looking model here, AOS representing. We got the Harbinger of Decay, another very good looking
Ooh,
model.
Model exists. Well then.
Oh, when it's painted like that, you know, it's a very well looking model.
No, I just remembered it exists. Ooh, old world ideas. Nurgle Chaos Lord.
There you go. The Norn Emissary, which is, you know, it's an impressive model, but definitely wouldn't be model of the year in my opinion. Usually, if it's big with no like detail base or anything, it definitely doesn't take the win. But there's that. And then, oh, okay, so here we go. Taking number 3, we got Farsight, which
Checks out. Deserves it for sure.
it is a good model. It is a good looking model. I would have honestly, I would have put the Harbinger here over Farsight. Farsight, you know, it's a good looking model. It's a minimal base, but if you like, if I'm comparing it to the Harbinger over here, ain't no way, man. Ain't no way the Harbinger lost to Farsight.
That's fair.
Like, robbed. That's what I'm gonna say. Harbinger was robbed. So, let's go ahead and number 2 is really Angron.
Yep. Okay, without going to number 1, guess number 1 now.
I
Get it.
I mean, his base wasn't that good, but Fulgrim number 1. It's a demonic Primarch that's taking number 1 because it's always a demonic Primarch that wins when they get released.
Before you go, I will say that the number 1, I also again picked Angron, but seeing the number 1, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense actually. Why that's model of the year. Actually, is one of my favorite models of all time. Now that looking like Angron Club with this next one, definitely one of my favorites of all time.
Alright, well then we'll take a look at number 1. The fact that you're saying it's your favorite of all time tells me it's not Fulgrim.
One of my favorites. So yes.
The Lion. Alright, well, I mean, I knew it was going to be a Primarch. And I guess the Lion, I mean, he fits the bill.
Yeah.
He fits the bill. I just honestly, I thought it was going to really be Angron there, but a Primarch took the win regardless, so congrats, Dark Angels. I'm sure Travis is clapping somewhere right now, knowing his Primarch has won first place of Model of the Year 2023. 2023 had a lot of bangers. I remember the previous year wasn't like spectacular in terms of the contestants up there, but 2023, a lot of good models out there, a lot of good sculpts, as we expect from GW. So, crazy. All right. So that is that. I think it's time we get into some model news here. And because we missed last week, we're going to start with the Saturday preview, which, don't worry, isn't going to be long. It is starting with the Battle of Macragge. Now, this is the box set that I first bought for 40k. Even though I started with the Jukari and the Dark Angels, I never bought those boxes. I only bought like a couple of Necron boxes back in the day. When I really got into the hobby, this was the starter box, 4th edition. So it's a blast from the past here to see this old model kit up and running again. I'm honestly surprised that they're doing this. It means
I was
that
gonna buy it, but I looked at the price. Well, the price came out, and I'm like, yeah, no.
I'll take a guess at the price here in a moment, but
So at launch, it was $50. Carry on.
at launch, you mean like
It
when
was
it first came out?
$50. When it first came out, it's $50, which, taking into account inflation, would be $75 of today money.
So I'm gonna assume $120.
All right?
Am I right?
No.
Okay, how much is it?
$150.
Why? Why is it
Literally,
150?
literally double the inflated price, which again is 75.
Well, I'm glad I already have all these models. Because I still have all those old, I have all those broken ship pieces still. I don't think I have the Tyranids. I think I gave away the Tyranids to someone, but I have the Space Marines. I have that little mechanic guy, who I think still to this day has no rules. So he's just a dude. But yeah, $150 for this. Definitely does not make me excited for them to release older kits, older starter boxes. Because I'm like, maybe they'll release the Dark Angels versus Yukari, or Dark. Wait, was it Dark Vengeance? Or am I thinking the Dark Angels versus Chaos? It's 6th edition box set.
Yes. No, 5th edition. That was the 5th edition one.
That's 5th edition.
No, sorry, that was the 6th edition. Excuse me. 5th edition was Black Reach. That was 6th edition.
Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. Yeah, Dark Vengeance was a very popular one. I know. But yeah, I don't, if they're gonna just double the price of the boxes, yeah, definitely not interested. I'm glad I picked this up when I did, but for those who want to have a collector's item, I'd say find at a discounted price if you can, because it's definitely 10 tactical marines, 10 termagants, and was it 6 Tyranid Gene Stealers? Definitely not worth it. I don't even think that's technically like a full squad. Well, besides termagants, I don't even think that's a full squad anymore. 6 Gene Stealers. Oh well. Blast from the past if you want to buy Battle for Crag. But moving on from that, old world news that we missed out on last week here. We got some Tomb King reveals here. So the last video we did, we looked at the Bretonnian stuff. Now we get to look at the Tomb King stuff. They don't really go into any Tomb King rules or anything. They just show off the book. There's your new rule book, which pretty classic. I like how they went with the Tomb King color for the book.
Yeah, instantly buying this to add to my collection of Warhammer Fantasy rulebooks.
Yeah, I'd probably buy it too, just to have it. It would just be there with all my other expired 40k and fantasy rulebooks. That's coming out. We got the two faction books, I guess. Got the Forces of Fantasy and the Raving Hordes.
So this is kind of like the Horus Heresy treatment, where you have a full book instead of a codex. So this will have the full rules for these armies. So the armies are going to be, for Forces of Fantasy, we're going to have the Empire, the Dwarves, Bretonnians, the Wood Elves, and High Elves. Well, for Ravaging Hordes, we will have Orcs and Goblins, Warriors of Chaos, Beastmen, and the Tomb Kings. Everything else, like Lizardmen, Skaven, Dark Elves, Vampires, will be getting a PDF of the rules. And they will not be supported for the foreseeable future with the old world. They'll just get those rules. Maybe we'll get FAQs here and there, but in terms of model or supplement releases, they will not get anything. Just the ones in these books.
Huh. Well, good to know. Good to know how that system works. I kind of like that. Kind of reminds me of the old 40K books. I forget what they're called. God, my memory's just being total crap on me right now. The not codexes. What was the compendium book called?
Indexes?
Yeah, the indexes. There you go.
There you go.
Reminds me of the indexes for when 40K 8th dropped.
So I'll be picking up the Ravaging Hordes books because I will have Warriors of Chaos.
I will have Tomb Kings. Ever changing. Oh, good to know about that. So that's coming out. They got arcane journals.
So these are interesting. They're kind of like codexes, but they're quote unquote optional. And I say quote unquote because you don't need them. Actually, let's backtrack a bit. This will not have the army list. You will still need the big Ravaging Hordes of Forces of Fantasy if you're playing Bretonnians or Tomb Kings. These books just have more lore and extra items, special characters, and missions and all that. So, I mean, if you're playing competitively, quote unquote, I guess you'll need these because there's more options, but it's like, you know, if you don't need the items in this book, if you don't need the characters in this book, you kind of don't need it to play. You just need the big index style books. I forgot to mention these also include alternate detachments for these armies.
Kind of sounds like a must buy, honestly, if you're gonna play the specific army.
I would say so, yeah. Yeah, if I played Tomb Kings, I would. I mean, I'm getting these anyway because I have all the fantasy army books, so I might as well just keep going. But yeah, you would if you played these factions, you'd probably get these anyway. But that said, if you're building your army, you're just starting the game out, you technically don't need this to play. It's just more content. It's like DLC, right? You don't need the DLC to experience the full. I don't think an extra item or so will radically change how the army plays, right? I mean, I guess the detachments will, but you don't. No one needs to play every detachment. Like even for me, I don't play every Rite of War and Horus Heresy, right? Especially, for example, for Bretonnians, there's a detachment that's all cavalry. Maybe you don't need to play that, especially if you get the core box because you have infantry anyway. So yeah, these are kind of cool, neat, optional things that are coming out, or optional books that are coming out. And I'm super excited because I think fantasy has my favorite lore in terms of all the games as a setting. I think Horus Heresy is the best novels and stories, but fantasy as just like a setting for Warhammer is my favorite. So I will be picking these up because it's just more of that, right?
Yeah. It is nice to have. But moving on from that, the real meat and potatoes that I want to talk about. So we finally get some new Tomb King models to finally reveal. We got Nekef, Emissary of Cetra. And this right here, this is a badass model. I like this model. I like the scarabs going over the scroll. I like how he has the skull flail, which, you know, he like should have been given to the new Tomb King model, since there was literally an item called this skull flail, but whatever. This model, badass. I like it. I'll probably pick it up just because of how it looks. Our Battle Standard Bearer finally got remade. I don't remember if we ever saw this model, but here we go. Definitely a lot better than the old Battle Standard Bearer.
Yeah, it's the modern design, right? And going back to Nikaf as well, it's a more modern design. Also, kind of cool that he's getting a model. I remember he was a character in the Tomb King's army book for 8th edition and never got a model. Gives me hope that Katep's gonna get a model, and all the other characters don't have one. Because Tomb Kings are in a unique position where they talk about it in a. I don't think we'll cover it, but there's a lore or interview with the developers about the old world lore for this game, and because it's set like 300 years before Warhammer Fantasy, before End Times and all that, before Karl Franz and Archaon and all those cool people, characters won't be returning for the most part because they weren't born yet, right? Now, long-lived characters like Teclis, Malekith, well, not Malekith because he's not one of the support factions, but like Teclis, Tyrion, and the undead folks like Nikov and Cetra and Katep, they're gonna, probably get some model support, or they're conceivably could get model support because they're alive during the time period the game is set. So, pretty excited to see a model for again Katep and all those other characters.
Yes, it's nice to see. Yeah, Battle Sound Bear looks great. I like it compared to the old one. Because the old one, was metal, so you already know it was bad. And being metal is very top heavy. So I'm glad to see that we're getting an updated model here. What I'm really excited for, though, the new Tomb Swarms. Oh man, did these new Tomb Swarms look amazing. The old Tomb Swarms were basically, you just had a metal square, and you just glue it on top of your base there, and it was just a bunch of bugs going over some bones. It wasn't as dynamic as this one. As this Scarab Swarm is, as you can see, it actually has levels and a lot more bones. Because the old swarms were just two models. One was basically eating a person, skeleton, and the other one was going over a coffin or sarcophagus. I don't really remember which one it was. And those were the only two variants of swarms that we had. So I'm glad to see that we're finally getting a new swarm. Hopefully these ones aren't resin, because as 8th edition, no, 9th edition went on, some of these models, the swarms became resin. So hopefully these ones are plastic. But I guess we'll wait and see for that. But very well done, very cool looking unit. Swarms were always my favorite unit because they had the burrow ability, which was basically just deep strike. So they were very good at disrupting the cannon lines or archer lines, whatever I needed them to do. So a fan favorite here. I wish we got a revamp of the Tomb Scorpion, but sadly that was not featured in this article or the next article that we're going to be looking at here. But overall, looks great. And to start off the new year with the first Sunday preview of the new year, we got Old World already coming out for pre-order. So we're not going to go over all these box sets, but obviously we got the Bretonnians, we got the Tomb Kings.
So these are going to be $250 for the Bretonnian, and I think $290 or $270 or higher than the Bretonnians. That's all I know for the Tomb Kings.
Of course it is. I mean, we got a freaking monster. We got a dragon.
There's a giant dragon thing that I hate.
I hate. Yes. I'm not getting that model. I don't care. That thing could be the most broken thing in the army. I'm not buying it. It goes against my aesthetic. But that's coming, and that's very sad to hear that it's gonna be like $270, $270 for the Tomb Kings, but that's the price you pay for royalty, I guess. Then we got the books that we all talked about. Journals. They got the Battle Standard Bearer for Pegasus. Pegasus Knights. The Grail Knights.
These are metal.
Yes, they are.
Coming back. Metal models. Back with a vengeance.
They got the Pilgrims of Grail.
More metal.
The Yeoman.
Even more metal. gosh, can't believe it.
Look at those old ass models. Handmaiden,
Forge-rolled resin, along with the rest of these.
Battle Standard Bearer, foot and mounted. The Questing Knight Paladin with the Great Weapon. And then, of course, we got reference cards and dice. Which, whatever. We all know my opinion, our opinion on the dice and the cards, so do what you want with that.
Dice are cool, actually, especially because there's artillery dice, which you need.
Well, of course.
But
I'm not a big fan of the dice, though, it's better than just a solid color, I'll give you that. But got that marble effect, but not too excited because, it's not my army here. The next group that we're talking about, though, the Tomb Kings. Now, that's my army. So, Tomb Guard should be plastic because that's what the new models were, plastic.
$80
Not surprised.
for
Sepulture
20 of them.
Stalkers and Necropolis Knights who share a box. Probably going to be $90.
I don't know. I mean, Tomb Guard are 80 for 20 of them. So I'm not sure about. I mean, I could look it up, but
It's probably
gonna be something not totally unreasonable because they're plastic. So
I think they were $60 or $60 release, I want to say.
yeah, they're $60.
Okay, good. So they're still
Yeah,
$60
back $60.
for that. The Necro Sphinx and the War Sphinx, they share a
Guess the
model.
price on this.
Huh?
Guess the price on this.
I think they were $80 on release, so I'll go with 90.
75.
Okay. So I guess I was
Pretty
off.
good. Pleasantly surprised that they're not over $100. That's kind of great, actually. Good job, Games Workshop.
The War Sphinx, this was my favorite model to always run.
It's super cool.
And then it was always sad when it got hit by a cannon and then instantly died. Always sad. That's coming. Cetra,
Coming back.
his old model, that's metal. Lich Priest, this is a new model.
No, that's the old one.
Now this is a new one.
That one, that's a really old Lich Priest.
Is it?
Yeah.
I guess I never had that model then.
It's before the one you had now. Yeah, it's a really old one.
Because mine always had the headdress and everything, so
Yeah, I think this one came out before that.
Alright.
Maybe after, but it's not new. It's existed already.
Alright, then we got that. The Shopti, these are plastic.
No, these are metal.
What?
They're metal.
Okay, so the ones with the bow are plastic.
Oh, they're metal. $80 in metal.
But they released them in plastic because they redid the model.
No, they're always metal. I think they were fine cast, but these were never in plastic.
Well, I know the ones with the bows. Those came out during 8th or 9th
During
edition.
8th as fine cast.
Oh, I never bought them, so
yeah.
There you go. I do have the metal Shopti, but crazy. All right. The new Tomb King.
In resin.
Yeah. Battle Standard Bearer we already talked about. Tomb Sworn we already talked about. The dice. Those are some dice I can be proud to own. My sandy bone dice. Right there. Good to have. And then they got some old world, just generic dice. Card sleeves. Magic items and lore magic cards as well. They're selling their own movement trays again. Or no, sorry, bases. 4 modular movement trays. My mistake. There's the movement trays right there. You can make.
Yeah. So these are going to be the official new base sizes they're going to use. So if you have an old army, like your old Tomb Kings mat, you got to rebase them, or maybe use some base adapters, which I think people will be selling. If you have the 20 mil bases, you just slot them in, then you some base adapters, so they're going to be 25 mils.
Yeah, I won't be doing that. So.
But it's the rules. You got to rebase your models.
Yeah. Well, I'll get there eventually.
Yeah, it's actually interesting with the basing thing because unlike 40k and AOS, where basing isn't really officially part of the rules for Old World, like the unit profiles actually specifically state what base they should be on. Which I don't know which 40k and AOS did, but and 30k did, but yeah, so they're gonna have the official like the base the unit should be in for every single unit that's getting rules.
Interesting.
Patiently waiting for the Chaos Warrior base size. I hope it's going to be 30. It's probably going to be 30 mil.
Probably. Oh, we got that. We got the old world map that they've been showing since day one. They're giving us a bunch of made to order stuff. So a bunch of old Necrons, old Chaos. I assume this is all Forge World stuff. Because you got the Necron Pylon, we got 2 Space Marines. I don't even know what this is. Some Space Marine on a rock. You know what Legion that is?
Which one? The
2 Space Marines on a rock holding a banner.
Oh, those are Red Scorpions.
Red Scorpions.
Or 40k. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. There's a bunch of Forge World stuff, so I don't even know what any of this majority of this stuff is. But if you want to get made to order stuff for stuff that's most likely no longer legal in 40k, now's your chance. Grab that stuff up. Black Library, we're getting Lords of the Lance coming soft ebook and audio, and of course we're getting a special edition of the book. End Times Fall of Empires becoming its own ebook and soft cover.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that they're bringing the End Times novels as one thing after, or bringing like End Times novels while releasing the Old World reminder to like, hey, this setting ends. So, which I think I support fully.
That we got Blight Slayer. We got the new White Dwarf that's coming out as well. New rules for Combat Patrol, Cursed City, plus siege battles in Age of Sigmar. And for Warhammer Plus, looks like we get a battle report from the 2 new Old World armies, how to paint some Scorpions, and Lore Masters on Bretonnians. So, pretty action-packed. I didn't read it, but I assume this is going to be a 2-week pre-order.
Yes, so it's gonna come out or pre-order this Saturday and out for release on January 20th.
No, during LVO.
Oh, there we go. Sweet.
So, action-packed stuff there. Speaking of which, next we get to talk about some Dark Angels. Of course, this was during December, but we finally got to see the launch box of Dark Angels. So we get to see the new Deathwing Knights here, showing off this a beautiful character with his flaming skeleton. So it's very well done. I always like the aesthetic of the Dark Angels, but they ain't my chapter, unfortunately. You know, them being secretly heretics and everything.
They're definitely one of my legions, but I like them in the black and red. I really like them in the black and red.
Yeah, so we got Belial here, looking fly, getting all the Dark Angel characters, getting those nice revamps. So we got that. We also got to see the Inner Circle getting new models here as well. Bunch of nice robed up boys here, ready to go into battle. So, are they a thing in? They're not a thing in 30K, huh?
Yes, the Inner Circle Cenobium. They're the Terminator unit with the great swords and the plasma flamers.
Oh, they're Terminators.
Yeah. Well, yeah. In 30K, the unit is in Terminator armor.
Got it. So downgrade here, since these are just normal Space Marines.
There's no more Space Marines. I might pick them up to use as characters because I think if you do a backpack swap, the Primaris bits are kind of hidden. So maybe a head swap, but could easily be a 30K character because the new Praetors from the box set are pretty ginormous. So I think the scale will work out.
Well, maybe. You'll have to let me know. At that, and of course, the box set down here, giving us the Dark Angel Codex, along with 5, 10, 15 Terminators and Belial. So, get your Death Company out there. Interesting box set, I would say. To just spam one unit. Kind of reminds me of that Christmas box where they just spammed a bunch of jump pack Marines.
Yeah, see, this is why if they came out with Assault Terminators, they could have 3 different units, but no. Only have regular Terminators. Why?
I don't know. But yeah, not a. I mean, I guess if you want to start a Deathwing company, this is your time. Pick up Belial as well, but interesting box set. Not something I'd be too hype about, especially as John has said. You know, you don't have 3 different kind of Terminators anymore. You only have Assault Terminators. So if you bought Leviathan, you've already got 5 Terminators. So your slots are filling up. Wouldn't be able to run all 15 of these, but nonetheless, Dark Angels are coming soon. So that's on the way. But speaking of reveals, GW has put out teasers for what is to come of next year. So kind of like what they did at the beginning of this year. You know, they showed a bunch of silhouettes. They did it again. So I think we start off with the AOS one, shall we?
Yeah, the most mysterious one for sure.
Yeah, if you want to just like go 45 seconds into the video, we'll just look at the ending here. Make this screen bigger so everyone can see it. So, first model here. You have any idea?
I don't know. Stormcast?
I mean, it's some kind of gun. Someone's holding a gun. The second one looks like he's just holding a lantern, so probably like a witch hunter.
Mm-hmm.
Lantern. Some kind of gun with a scope. Could be a Empire sniper, maybe. I don't know. Next one, we got 2 scythes. That's probably a not a dark elf, but there's a Kane model, maybe. Because I don't know any. Didn't have to keep doing that. I mean, they got the 2 scythes, the chains at the end, pretty agile. I would assume a Daughters of Cain model.
Yeah, or a dingy dark elf thing. I don't know. Hard to, or Slanesh model maybe.
Yeah, that's right. Could be Slash too. This is the problem with AOS right now. Both of us are very out of it, and we don't really know too much about the AOS right now. So hard to give good predictions. But this last one right here,
That's a night.
That's a Nighthaunt. I can, as someone who has been recently painting his Nighthaunt army, I can tell that that's a Nighthaunt model. And then we got some cavalry unit, probably some marauders, marauder horsemen. No, they already had those updated models, right?
No, it could be Marauder Horseman.
All right, then marauder horsemen sounds about right. Uh, got some guy with dually pistols. Not a definitely not a ogre. Don't know exactly who that'd be. And that's pretty much it. So we're looking at 4 models. 4 models revealed there. If I had if I had to guess, I would assume 1 or 2 of these will be revealed at LVO this year. So in about 3 weeks, we should know something about it. Let's go ahead and move on to 30K, your neck of the woods, something you would know. If you want to skip to 34. So the first thing we got here, we got some Marine with a banner.
Plastic Command Squad, easy peasy. Happy for me. I think it's going to be Mark III armor if you analyze the silhouette. But yeah, I'm just glad to be getting a Plastic Command Squad because Command Squads are one of the best units in the game and are an amazing hobby opportunity, right? You make some veterans of the Legion with some blinged out gear. You got your standard bearer and probably have a boatload of weapon options because they're all customizable. Yeah, this is probably one of the most exciting units to be released for the Space Marine Legions, in my opinion, next to Breachers.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, we got.
Yeah, go for it.
So we got. So the rest I'm just going to talk about simultaneously. So we're going to get plastic Solar Ox. So we're going to see a Solar Ox, Las Rifleman, and a Sentinel, like the Epic Sentinel, who it's going to be in plastic in 30k scale. I believe this is going to be the mystery army that they teased a while ago, which makes sense. Yeah, this is cool. That's another new army for Heresy. This is going to be the regular humans, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're finally becoming to Heresy. Now, I don't know too many people who are excited about Plastic Solar Ox.
I'm
Who are
excited.
excited about playing Plastic Solar Ox army.
I am.
You are going to actually play Plastic Solar Ox?
Why not? If no one's gonna play it, I might as well play it.
Yeah, you could, right? Yeah. I think way more people, and I'm I don't want to understate this. Like way more people are gonna get this for 40k for their guard armies, guaranteed. Because Solar Ox are super cool, but I mean, again, people are gonna play it in 30k, but I think way more people are gonna get it for their guard armies in 40k.
Well, hey, drives up the sales, drives up demand, means they're gonna make more models for it.
Cool. I mean, good for them, right? It just kind of sucks that Solar Ox are kind of garbage in Horus Heresy, which also makes sense because Space Marines are supposed to be the strongest faction because that's kind of what the lore is, right? So, but yeah, I mean, I think it's great this is coming out. I think more non-Space Marine armies is always a good thing. I'm always lonely as a Mechanicum player, being the only one with a non-Space Marine army sometimes, but you know, I think this is a good step forward.
Right. Well, and then there's one more, obviously, for 40k. I want to skip to 37 here. So first one, obviously, Custodian.
Not a Votan, it's a Custodian.
Really?
Yes, because the Guardian Spear gives it away. I think, yeah, you would think Votan because of the little like thing on his head.
Stupid head bloom, yes.
But the Guardian Spear makes it a Custodian. Also, Custodians are in the Codex.
What's it called? Too tiny to be a Custodian.
We don't know that because there's no other model next to him. So maybe they zoomed it in, right? And I think Custodians being in the Codex roadmap seals the deal. It's the Guardian Spear. The Guardian Spear silhouette is so, I think, apparent that it's that his hat is just going to be a Votan looking Custodes hat, but the Guardian Spear makes, I think, seals the, well, it's not just the Guardian Spear, it's the fact, I think what sealed the deal for me is the fact that they're next on the Codex roadmap after Dark Angels and Orcs.
Okay. If you say so, I'm gonna go with Voton because that just it screams Voton to me.
Well, how do you explain the Guardian Spear?
GW will make some BS excuse to be like the Voton people created it and enhanced it to make it even better, make a better Guardian Spear.
That makes no sense.
Yo, welcome to 40K.
The,
They
this,
they do that a lot sometimes.
there's still internal consistency. They won't. I don't think they'll do something that out there as like making a Guardian Spear for the Votan. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's kind of stretching it, I think. And this is 40K we're talking about, so they gotta really stretch it
True,
to the point where it would kind of break some of the Votan lore as it is.
but little there
Um,
is right now, yeah.
yeah, exactly. So
All right, well, moving on, we got Recruit Riders, which confirms what Valrak's rumor engine said, that there's going to be a lot of Recruit coming in for the Tau,
100%.
which means Vespids were also probably going to be redone as well. So that'll be nice. Then we got some Orc. I'm pretty sure.
Weird boy or something.
I don't think it's a weird boy. It's too
Mech
mechanical
maybe.
to be a weird boy. Probably uh who's the one with the shock attack gun?
The mech?
Yeah. I think it's good.
Maybe,
I
yeah.
think it's gonna be some new mech boy. Maybe a mech boy character. That would be my guess. It's hard to say what an orc thing would be because you literally just throw whatever random bits on it and be like, yeah, it's a doctor. Even though it has no doctor tools on it, but he has the face mask, so it makes it a doctor. But yeah, I think it's gonna be some kind of big mech orc. So that'd be my guess. But knowing orcs, it can literally be anything. And then I think that's it, right? Yeah, that's it. So majority of the stuff will most likely be revealed at LVO this month. So let's see if they can keep it locked down. We wouldn't want to have another Avatar fiasco happen. So hopefully they can keep that lid shut for till then. But I'm excited to see what happens. I'll definitely be at the LVO. I don't know if we're doing the reveal day one presentation again, but all depend. All depends on when we leave. So that's coming out, and then there's one more thing to talk about, and that is, since it's the new year, when it's a GW store's birthday, it's time to get some new merch and models. So for the models this year, we're getting a Tau and a Fire Slayer. And for the Tau model, looks like we're getting an Ethereal with a close combat weapon. Interesting enough. The Invocation of Elements, which looks okay, looks nice. Nothing too awesome about it, but it's not a
It's
Space
pretty
Marine.
neat, yeah. It's way better than the AOS one, but
It's not a Space Marine. It's not a Necron, so it's nice.
yeah, that's true. It is not a space for not an Necron.
And then you got Bracky with the Gilded Key.
Yeah, this guy is whatever. It is another Fire Slayer doing Fire Slayer things.
Nice. It's just
Like
they're just not good models. The Fire Slayers are just not good models. I
I,
don't know what to say.
they're just not out there with their designs. I think if they did something completely different with Fire Slayers, but are still Fire Slayer, which they could, you could make something look different from the current aesthetic, but still maintain the overall faction aesthetic, right? They're just not doing that. It's just another dude with an axe, a flaming thing, and a key. There's a lot of like that description applies to so many Fire Slayer models. It's ridiculous. And here's another one.
Yeah. But those are the two models you could get in your store anniversary. course, you got the backpack, the pins, the dice tray. Uh, what else do you get? Awesome back. Pretty much it. Premium metal range markers featuring Terminator helmets. Okay, you get that too. You get all that. Usually, you have to spend X amount of money to get all this stuff. So it's usually like what, $200 to get everything. If you like bought in store stuff, or can you just buy this individually now?
I think yeah, you have to buy other stuff.
Yeah, I think it's about $200 you gotta spend to get everything. If
Oh,
I'm recalling.
it says 200 pounds on the article. So even more dollarinos, probably
Even
300.
more dollarinos. Yep. So, again, I'm excited for the Tau thing. I think that looks nice. Again, not another Space Marine, not another Necron. Finally, something different. So, I applaud GW. But yeah, that's all the GW news I have. Do you have anything you want to talk about before we jump off there?
I think that's it. Old world hype is real.
Yeah, coming out sooner than expected. I
Oh
honestly
yeah.
never thought this day was gonna come. I thought 2026 was gonna be the year.
Yeah, right, or 2025 at the earliest, but now it's coming out. And even this year, I thought it was gonna be like February, but no, January 20th, it will be out, and I will hopefully have a lot of worst chaos on by then.
Well, I mean, given the articles that were coming out, weekly, we knew it was gonna be next year, but I just honestly didn't think it was ever gonna happen. But cool. Um. Well, John, it's been 2 weeks. What have you been up to, man?
A lot of hobbying, like a lot of hobbying. I just finished a full unit of, or 2 units technically, of demon brutes for my rune storm. Or sorry, for my word bears. Erebus is going to be summoning them. I picked up a Mark 6 assault marine. I picked up a box to convert to a word bears command squad with jump pack and a praetor with jump pack. Gonna add those to my word bears army. The plan is to get those done and then fully. I'll declare the army more or less complete. I think lore guard is the next thing I just kind of need to do, but otherwise, I have enough units to have several different 3,000 point army builds and Zone Mortalis builds. So after that, I'll be moving on to my Dark Angels. Been working on some Battletech as well, and also some Warriors of Chaos. I picked up the Christmas box for Age of Sigmar with the intent of using them for Old World. So I'm painting those right now, waiting for the official base size confirmation so I can pick up some bases and start trying to rank them up and all that. But yeah, been doing that, playing a lot of Star Wars Legion. Ewoks are pretty kind of what I expected them to be. They're just a horde army that you need to deal with before they get to your lines, and it's just lots of bodies you need to address. But yeah, just doing that. No, played some Heresy as well, but mostly just really been playing Star Wars Legion. Also working on my epic 40k. The infantry aren't as fun to paint as I realized because there's kind of no detail. You just kind of base coat or dry brush and then dry brush again, and then you're kind of done. Whereas I'm having way more fun painting like with these Warriors of Chaos because there's some detail you could paint and all that, and it's just kind of cool. But yeah, just be doing that.
How's the City of Sigmar going?
Oh, the cavalry are like 80% done, but I kind of just paused on that because of Old World.
Hmm.
But they're there, I'll be touching them up once in a while. Just a lot of detail on those cavalry models, so I'm not sure exactly when I'll be done with them.
I see. I see.
How about you?
Well, I haven't been doing too much hobbying. I've kind of been doing my procrastination as the holidays have been coming up. Where it's been a bit hectic, family and all. So I haven't really done too much hobbying. I've been painting here and there. I mean, right now I'm painting up a solitaire
Nice.
to use in a 40k LVO, but yeah, I can't say I made much progress. I kind of been slacking on that. I do have a funny Christmas story though. So my parents obviously want to give me a gift. I told them what to get me. I told them, I just want to get the God, what are they called? Trantrum Brood, the Warcry spider people.
Okay.
I'm like, this is all I want for Christmas, because I'm at the point where I don't really need anything. I just want to buy stuff that looks cool and paint it up, and maybe play with it. But I'm like,
Right.
just give me that. That's all I want. So Christmas comes. There with my family, open up my gifts. So the first thing they hand me is this big box, and I'm like, okay, interesting. I don't know what this is, but so I open it up. Do you want to take a guess what it was?
It's the box set where they came out. They came out Catacombs, I think.
No,
No, the other one.
it
The
was
dark one.
it's a. Let's see. What's a good size? It's the size of a combat patrol.
Oh, okay. Orcs and I don't know, the goblin spider. I have no idea.
It was a uh, Tyrannid Carnifex Brood.
Amazing.
Amazing, right? And I'm like, okay, interesting gift. Not what I asked for, but okay. Then they hand me another box.
Oh,
Guess what that one was?
more Tyranids?
No.
Leviathan?
No. This one was Combat Patrol Necrons. Necron Combat Patrol.
Okay.
I was like, what the hell? I'm like, did you guys pay for all this? Like, this is, I mean, I'm thankful, but this is definitely not what I asked for. Hand me another box. You'll never guess what this box was.
I have no idea.
I'll give you a hint. It's from 30k.
Okay. Oh, it's the Age of Darkness box.
No. It's the God, I don't remember the name of the knight. It's a knight.
Oh, one of the knights. Oh gosh.
And I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? And then they had me in another box, and then that box was the Tyraniton Brood.
Yeah.
And I'm like, can I see can I see the receipts and stuff? Because I added it all up, and that's like $400. $400 worth of stuff that they gave me. So what happened is obviously GW messed up.
Oh.
They messed up big time. Because I looked at the receipt that they paid for. They only paid for the Tyraniton Brood.
Oh.
And they sent my parents, multiple boxes. So
That's amazing.
it wasn't in like a giant box that all these models were in. They individually got these boxes.
That's amazing.
And then you know how GW sends a receipt inside the box, right?
Yep.
All of them had my parents' name on it, and they all said Tyraniton Brood.
That's amazing.
I was just like, well, sorry. Kind of ruined someone's Christmas here, but got no return address, so because they threw away all the boxes. I'm like, oh well, I guess I'm keeping all this gear. Thank you, GW.
There we go. Free models from GW.
I know. Don't know what I'm gonna do with any of that stuff, but I have it. GW, it's funny. I should order a lot more from GW because I seem to have a lot of issues with GW when it comes to mailing. Something always happens when it comes with them. But yeah, that was an interesting and funny Christmas story that happened for me. Other than that, yeah,
Wait,
not
did they use a new website to buy it?
yes.
There we go. Amazing.
So it was a jolly good Christmas. But in terms of hobbying, I didn't do too much. I recently, played Rogue Trader today on stream, and
Okay.
got my butt kicked quite a bit. I had to do some shady tactics of being because I was just getting. There's this one mission where I'm just getting sniped constantly. I'm just like, forget this. I'm just gonna run to like the far end, and then have that sniper leave its perch so I can finally just so I can kill him. Because he's out
Mhm.
here, he's just one-shotting all my characters. I'm like, this is BS. I hate this.
Yeah.
So I got a little further in there, but I gotta stop procrastinating. I gotta get these models done.
Yeah, LVO's coming
LVO,
up.
2 weeks. Well, not
There
two
we go.
weeks. Well, yeah, basically 2 weeks. And I'm slacking. I mean, the tradition for LVO is, everything stay up to like 3 o'clock in the morning to get everything done. Day of tournament, as many of our stories have gone for LVO. I know Travis, when he did his World Eaters for the tournament 2 years ago, he stayed up to like 6 a.m. He got like 1 hour of sleep, and then we went right into the tournament scene.
There we go. As you should.
As you should, sleep deprived, ready for gaming for a whole day. You don't need those brain cells to think. You just need to roll dice. The dice will do all the work for you. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for this new year. Speaking of which, to segue all the way back to the beginning, what's the new army?
Oh, Warriors of Chaos.
Warriors of Chaos?
Like I literally went from not doing this army. I was gonna do Empire, right? I think we talked about this before. Like I want to do Empire for Old World, and then I saw that the Grail Knight points cost was the same. So I'm like, oh, maybe the points. Maybe I could assume that the points will be similar. So I made a 2,000 point Empire army. It's like 200 models. I'm like, I really don't want to paint these many dudes. At least at start, right, where I have no army and I can't play until they're painted. Like I should probably do it my plan B, which is Warriors of Chaos. Because they're so cool and I have access to the new range and I'm like, oh, there's that Christmas bundle. I'm just gonna grab that. And I made so that box is like 1,000 points already.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe more depending on gear. And I just need a few more units to make it 2K. And a 2K army is I think 60, 70 models for Warriors of Chaos, and that's without much magic items. So yeah, that's the new army. Also Dark Angels for Horus Heresy. That one, I think that one's another just I already have a Horus Heresy. I have several Horus Heresy armies, but I would like another Loyalist Legion.
What's one
Besides
more
my Blood Angels. What's
Heresy
one
army?
more, right? And the difference between these, it's like going to be like a tabletop quality Legion as opposed to my Blood Angels, who are, they're airbrushed, they're paint all washed, they're just take way longer to paint a unit. But for Dark Angels, I'm gonna use my traditional like slap chop style method, just like the word there is just getting it done as soon as possible, so I could get more units out quickly.
Get them on the table.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's the plan.
Very cool. Well, I think we can call it there. I'd like to thank everyone who made it to the end of this New Year video. And we'll see you next time.
Later, everyone.